Hello and welcome once again to the Performance Centre here at Howley Hall Golf Club in Leeds, where today I'm going to be reviewing the new Staff Model and Staff Model R golf balls from Wilson. Hello there, Ryan Rastell here for Golfshake.com, and before we get into talking about these brand new golf balls from Wilson, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, see loads more content from all of us here at Golfshake to help you play more and play better. So, golf balls, there's tons of them out there on the market, and some of them with very little difference. They're quite confusing as to which one we should use, and I get asked all the time which one would suit different types of player. Now, we do golf ball fittings when we're fitting golf clubs as well, but I think it's an area that people don't really pay as much attention to as maybe they should do. It generally comes down to a couple of things. One, the performance, and two, what you can afford really, because there are some golf balls out there that are really at the top end price-wise and maybe won't suit the majority of golfer. But in terms of the price point, this new golf ball from Wilson is right up there. This is something Wilson are bringing out to really take on that tour level golf ball market. And it's a 4-piece construction, urethane cover, and very much has been developed with the aid of the Wilson tour players. And I think you'll start to see some uncontracted players using this golf ball on tour as well. Now, the reason it's caused a bit of a stir and that it's been a little bit different is particularly the Staff Model R, which is the raw finish golf ball. Doesn't have that layer of paint that we see is applied when we look at the normal Staff Model ball there. And the reason Wilson have done this is because they've looked very in depth at how not just themselves, but every golf company out there applies this finishing paint to a golf ball. Now, we all like to see this shiny kind of pearly golf ball come out of a packet, and we've kind of got used to how a golf ball should look when it comes out of the packet, and it's certainly more like the normal Staff Model ball I've got in my hand here. Now, the raw without that paint does look a little strange. It kind of, in terms of appearance, it's got that kind of matte finish that we see on some of the more distance kind of balls in the market, which maybe won't be for everybody, but Wilson are saying performance-wise we should see tour level performance with this. So greenside spin will be very good, control from irons and off the tee, we should get nice high launch, low spin, and we should see this more than stack up against some of those golf balls out there on the market that are, you know, maybe the industry leaders like your Titleists and your with your ProV1 and AVX, and then things like Chrome Soft in a Callaway, or we're looking at the TP5 and TP5X with TaylorMade, Z-Star in Strixon, just to name a few. Now, I'm going to put this head to head with some of these when I test them on the TrackMan, but I just think this whole raw story is very interesting. So Wilson looked quite in depth at how every company applies this paint and saw in many instances that it was thicker on one side than another, or certain dimples were kind of more flooded with paint than others. And obviously that's going to have a detrimental effect to its performance. Now, Wilson are saying that sometimes when they've tested these balls, they can move quite a lot in the air if the paint is one side or the other. And they're saying that without that paint on there to give you that inconsistency, that the raw ball that they do should be the most consistent ball out there on the market. Now, we're going to put it to the test in here, but I'm also going to go out on the golf course and play a few holes with it as well. I must admit, when taking it out of the packet, it does look a little strange. But yeah, I can't wait to test them both. So let's stop talking. Let's get on the TrackMan and hit some shots. So now that I've hit shots with 6-iron and driver with not just the Staff Model and Staff Model R, but I've also put it up against some of the sort of biggest, you know, names and tour golf balls out there on the market. So ProV1, TP5 Chrome Soft X, which I've tried against it as well, just to show you how it compares. Obviously, Wilson are pitching this at that top end in terms of technology and also price point and that type of player that all of these golf balls are aimed at. So let's see how they perform. So in 6-iron to start with, okay? So we can see Staff Model R and Staff Model. If we take a look at the spins, so Staff Model 5.2, 5.4, just short of 5.5 with Staff Model R. So we're just getting that little bit more spin with the raw finish ball. Very, very similar ball speed, and in terms of distance, so we're seeing 193 with the Staff Model R, 197 with Staff Model. Now, I would say for me on a 6-iron, that is a blooming long 6-iron, to be honest. I would normally sort of 185 carry ish, and it normally stops fairly quickly when I hit it. Sort of between, I would say between 180 and 190. Anytime I get over 190 with 6-iron, that's pretty good. And those balls, both of them, are doing that quite nicely. So both carrying 1.8, just short of 185 and 187 respectively. But yeah, very, very good. They feel great to hit as well. The raw one does look different to any ball that you'll sit down and hit, but there's very negligible difference in what I can feel when I'm hitting them, to be honest. If we look at TP5, we can see it's just shy of that 190 number. Same with ProV1. Chrome Soft X has gone pretty well, to be honest. It's up there with both of the Staff Model balls. But if we look at that, both of those Staff Model balls are longer than the rest with a 6-iron, and certainly the performance was very, very good. Now when we get into driver, if we look at let's look at both the Staff Model balls to start with. So we can see with Staff Model R, just over 300 yards, 301, very similar with the normal Staff Model ball as well. Bit of a difference in the spin the other way though this time. So the Model R is the lower spinning, so we've got just over 2,500 RPM and just short of 2,700 with the Staff Model. So like I say, both pretty good. When we look at the TP5 ProV1X, we can see very, very similar. In fact, every single golf ball that I've used there is in a 6-yard radius, so there's not really a hell of a lot to choose between them in terms of total distance. Now, the spin with Chrome Soft X again was good, and Staff Model R, they're probably the best two that we tried on there. So both of those balls have come out pretty well with both driver and 6-iron. But certainly we are comparing this now to, you know, the creme de la creme of golf balls. You know, these are the top in the range. They are the tour level golf ball, and we can see here that the numbers aren't too dissimilar. So all the claims Wilson are making about this brand new golf ball certainly stacks up when we test it on the TrackMan. Now, I'm going to go outside now. I'm going to play our front nine using both golf balls. I'm going to hit 2 off each tee, and just play with them and see how they go as well. I might chuck a few of these other golf balls down as well, just have a bit of a look at the flights and see if there's any real differences. But looking at this, I can't imagine there will be. But it was pretty fun to test and pretty good to see how it compares against all these other golf balls as well. So just coming off the course now, having played a few holes with both the Staff Model and Staff Model Raw golf balls, and yeah, pleasantly surprised. The performance is great. They feel really good around the greens. Ball flight's good too. I can't really tell much of a difference between the two when I'm hitting them on the golf course, apart from obviously the look. So when you're on the putting green there, obviously this ball is shinier. You know, it's got that painty effect on it. It's maybe a little bit, it stands out a little bit more if you're looking for it in the rough, which I was a fair bit today. The other thing to note is the raw finish. Although it looks great when it comes out of the box, if not slightly duller than the normal Staff Model ball, after you've played a few holes with it, it does discolour a bit. You can see this one. You know, I've hit a few in the rough and stuff, but not really struck it particularly badly. Played 8 holes with it, and you can certainly see it looks a bit beaten up. Now, it doesn't perform any worse, you know, it's not scuffed or anything, it's just discoloured the actual outside of the ball, so it's not compromised the mantle layer or the cover on there. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, just one thing to note when you do play with it a little bit is it discolours quite quickly. So there we have it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I loved getting out on the golf course and testing these, as well as having a look on the TrackMan. And as you can see, they more than compare favourably to some of those big names in golf. And I suppose it's one of those where, would you be prepared to pay this much for a dozen of these balls? These are going to retail around the 45 to 50 pounds mark for a dozen, right up there with ProV1, pretty much the same price. Do you spend that much on golf balls? Would you experiment with having a go with the raw finish golf ball as well, just to see how that performs? But you can see here, when I've tried it both out on the golf course and on the TrackMan, it more than stacks up against any of those golf balls that you'd be paying similar money for. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please, if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we'll do our best to answer them all, and we'll see you all very, very soon.